Keyless Ally, everyone. Welcome to the other DLC episode. Today we will be discussing the other DLC for Mass Effect 1, which is none other than Pinnacle Station. Okay, I'm kind of mixed on this one, you guys can obviously tell. Because it does have some fun gameplay mechanics to it, as well as a really fun mission, but that's kind of it. It was kind of a blessing in disguise that it was cut from the main game because they couldn't recover the original file. Because this mission, although a little fun, is kind of tedious. And now, obviously, you don't have to play it for, because Legendary Edition does not have it. But if you played it in the original game, the original Mass Effect, when it was a DLC that you could download and play, obviously there was a bit of tedium there. I actually did get an opportunity to play it in Legendary Edition because on Nexus Mods, there's a mod that literally says Pinnacle Station DLC. And you think, oh, it's a mod. Should it even be counted? Well, it is a mod made from official gameplay DLC, so I guess there's no reason why you can't count it as far as PC players, though, as official DLC, even though it was made by modders. Like, they had to finish what the BioWare staff sadly couldn't figure out. Which does make me wonder why BioWare does not just hire modders like this. Especially they could give credit saying, hey, thanks to these modders for, getting this. They could have actually released Pinnacle Station as an official DLC at this point on consoles if they wanted to. But I guess they figured not enough people liked or even bothered with Pinnacle Station, which, again, I understand, because I'm mixed on this too. Pinnacle Station's basic premise is, it's not really like story or plot relevant, so that's why, most people just tend to skip it, and why Legendary Edition didn't bother trying harder to port it over to the main trilogy. But basically in it, Shepard goes aboard this cross-species, I guess you could call it a arena base or something like that. And basically, you have a human admiral that runs it with Turian guards and a Solarian that does the sims. So you have different races like Turian, human, Krogan, all coming together and battling upon locations in these simulations, fighting, fake enemies that aren't there, just sort of sharpening their skills and testing their abilities. And in it, Admiral Ahern, the human admiral that runs everything, basically gives Shepard a pass to play most of the modes. Now, there are 4 distinct modes in Pinnacle Station. There's Time Trial, Capture, Survival, and Hunt. So the basic gist of these modes, Time Trial is basically taking out as many enemies as you can until the timer runs out. Capture is sort of like Battlefront, where you pretty much have to capture particular points and hold them until the points are fully captured. Survival is basically just staying alive, and if you're a walking tank by this point, survival is going to be your easiest mode. However, if you're still pretty early on, it's going to be one of the toughest. And finally, hunt missions. Basically, you start with a small timer, and anytime you take out an enemy, the timer goes up by a couple seconds, and you have to keep that flow and take out more targets than everybody else before your time eventually does run out. And if you've figured out the common theme of why I'm not the biggest fan of some of these scenarios, is because they're all timed missions, and I've never been a big fan of real small timers, especially when it's your first time playing a game like this. I mean, later on it gets a little better, but at times the not getting the proper time and having to repeat the scenario over and over can be a bit frustrating, because you have to figure out the right squad mates to use. You have to figure out the right weapons, the right armor, the right defenses to use. So yeah, it does make you think a little bit more. make the gameplay more interesting. But at the same time, I feel this way about escort missions too. I've never been the biggest fan of those either. So if by some miracle you've managed to get through all of the 4 modes, Ahern will present you with a mission that he did during the First Contact War, in which he and his limited team managed to hold a position during Turian occupation, and he had to hold it for at least 5 minutes, and it was a very against impossible odds type scenario. And it's a fun final end game portion. It's a bit repetitive, the amount of Turians that get stormed at you, and you get a proper set of defenses, but at the same time, it is a decent one. And upon completion of it, Ahern gives you the red planet that Pinnacle Station orbits, called Entice. It's basically a planet that Shepard's got to himself, or herself, depending on which gender you choose. On this planet, if you've already collected the billions and billions of credits necessary, you can't go to one of the terminals, contact a admiral or something like that, put like a couple thousand credits into a particular cruiser or ship, and they'll send you like a specialty armor or something like that, or a specialty weapon or mod. So that's it. That's Pinnacle Station. It was cut from Legendary Edition because of the file error, and honestly, I'm kind of glad, because there's not really much content to this DLC. It's just kind of a fun what-if scenario. What if, it's kind of fun, but at the same time, it's not really plot relevant, so if you don't play it, you're not really missing out on much. I would say if you're going to play it, either on your PC, get the mod off of Nexus Mod, or just play it, risk playing the original game, despite its clunky gameplay mechanics, if you're that curious about it. But otherwise, you're fine to skip it. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, what did I think of this DLC? Very mixed on it. I like aspects of it, but at the same time, I'm not the biggest fan of it, especially since most of the simulator stuff that you do here is done light years better in Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC with the Armax Arsenal Arena. So, take that for what you will. But what are your thoughts on this? Comment below, discuss. Did you like Pinnacle Station? Did you not like Pinnacle Station? Have you not played it? Have you played it? Comment below, please let me know. And I have one more video to talk about.